Hey, Edible Lab here. Back again with another garden tour. It's about a month since I filmed the last one, but I ended up uploading it quite late. Um, so we're kind of late into April. A good amount of my plants have been moved. I moved them to my parents' place and gonna see if some of those will survive. Most of them were the more cold hardy ones, so that would be stuff like the Suriname cherries, a lot of Eugenia. So yeah, Suriname cherry, cherry of the Rio Grande, and then the more cold hardy Jaboticabas, the Plinia cauliflora, so the Sabara small leaf grafted that I have, and the Grimal, with the large leaf. So we'll see how those go. I've put them in a place up there that doesn't get frost. So they're in an area that gets frost, it gets cold, outside of Sydney. But I'm going to see an experiment whether, can get those plants to survive there. Anyway, I'll just go over sort of what's changed. Not too much. Starting to cool down, heading towards winter. Haven't had too much rain, although we've had some just recently. So we got some jackfruit seedlings here. They're all doing quite well. I repotted these maybe a month or two ago. And these are just over a year old. Got a few other things. Mangoes. This one's starting to get big. Got some bird crap on it. This is an Australian native. Not a Puteria, but closely related. So it's a Sapote family. I've never had the fruit, but it makes sort of black coloured fruit. Maybe smallish shape. It's meant to be. Yeah, like maybe about 2 inches in diameter, a few centimeters, maybe less than that. But it's growing quite big. Never know what I'm going to do with this. It's meant to be able to grow into a large tree. Anyway, acerola. Yep, growing. Doesn't really stop growing most of the year, other than winter. Again, this year flowered a few times, no fruit set. I haven't really given it much attention and water, but I think it needs probably a lot of water to set fruit, but it really, that doesn't stop it growing. Wax jambu always looks, it's healthy. It's got roots here coming out the bottom of the pot. Well, that's dried up there, but yeah, I've had this one for maybe a year and a half now. The acerola I've had for 2 years. But the wax jambu is doing fine. Again, I think it likes lots of water, but it doesn't mind if it doesn't have water. Then just to show a few of these other things, there was little seedlings like coffee and more jackfruit. Most stuff's gone. In fact, I've been very busy, so a lot of stuff has been fairly neglected. It's a cha-cha seedling. This is my largest one. It's just a seedling though, not grafted, but it's gonna push out some new leaves. That's nice. Got some Rollinia seedlings in here. It's got a bit eaten. They're pretty fast growing, the Rollinia. My Lacucha that came back from the dead probably wants a bit more water. It's another Rollinia. The Lucuma. Maybe I should have taken that as well. We'll see. But yeah, that's doing pretty well. Otherwise, that's basically all of the pots now. Most of that's been moved or planted in the ground and cleaned up. This is the stuff at the back. This leaf got a bit eaten. Still quite soft, but this is starting to grow a bit faster now. This is one of the Imperial Star apples, the Chrysophyllum imperiale, also known as, I think, like Marchucella or something. Marchucella is another name for it. Rare endangered rainforest tree. Sugar apple. Lost some leaves at the top, had a bit of dieback. Not sure why. maybe it was the transplant shock, but it's growing. It's growing on these parts, which is fine. I'm happy. Hopefully it survives the winter. I think it will. The red hybrid Jaboticaba, they do tend to get eaten. Things love eating these, but there's some new growth. Oh, well, it hasn't grown for a little bit, but this is sort of hardening off now. It's doing pretty well. I think this well. No qualms about this not surviving our winters here. And so, it's only a couple of years before it might start to fruit, which is exciting. I think now that it's in the ground, it's going to be pretty set and forget, really. The Canistel is looking alright. It's actually pushing some growth. Wow. This late in the season. Look at that. So it's actually going to, maybe not this bud, but look down here too. It's pushing new growth. Oh, that's exciting. This one is a really pretty slow grow in my experience. Well, it only has a few flushes, but those flushes are quite big. I mean, this one I've had for as long as the Acerola, so 2 years. But as you can see, it's only about 5 and like 5 foot tall. Also, giant Lau Lau, Syzygium megacarpa. This one's doing fine since it's gone in the ground. It's probably going to take a while before it starts growing. It probably won't grow until next summer. But this one showed no issues with last winter. I've had this for a year now. Got it pretty much exactly a year ago. This is another one of those Imperial Star apples. This is a Midgem berry. It's like an Australian native. Ostromyritis dulcis, this one is. And I have another species. This is a sort of a thin-leafed one. It's called Tenuifolia. I think this one's a little less common. But they both make a similar small berry-like fruit. They're in the myrtle family. Soursop. I wonder why it's sort of drooping. Maybe it wants a bit of water. I might water. I think it's also just they have a weeping habit. At least my tree does. These branches are getting quite large and therefore a bit heavy. You can see in there. Oh, what's happened here? Oh. We've lost a branch. Oh, that's split off. Okay, that's only happened in the last few days then. Is that the wind or something fell on it? What happened there? Oh well, I'll have to remove that. That's a real shame. Anyway. Oh yeah, things are going to need some water. We had a little bit of rain, but it hasn't even been that hot. But I guess this has better drainage here than I thought. This, the regular star apple, Kaimito, needs some water. I'll water it. And we got the Annona reticulata. So small. Dubious whether this will survive or not, but it continues to grow. This is definitely out of the well-known Annona. Well, this isn't even well known in Australia, but obviously very well known in the Americas. Known as the custard apple there, but it's pretty rare in Australia. That's known to be pretty tropical. Cacao, who knows if this will survive, but it's growing. The Ilama, this is pink Ilama, red Ilama, red Ilama, yeah, it's red Ilama grafted red Ilama. That one's doing pretty well. A lot of what I got in here has a lot of Annonas. I just like how they look. I think they're quite, attractive foliage, ornamental. This is a posh tea or Annona scleroderma. It did fine over the winter too, but I'd say its cold hardiness is probably comparable to soursop. This is, loose relative of Annona. This is another Australian native plant. Bolwara. Abiu, not looking too good. These things just get ravaged by pests, but it's got some new growth as well. I'll water it. In fact, I might give some seaweed solution to stuff. Davidson's plum, this is another Australian native. It's putting on a new flush of growth after going in the ground. Another cacao there. I don't know, something happened where recently, one day my starfruit had all its leaves and the next day it didn't. Basically, so I don't know what the hell happened. Something came and I think ate all the leaves, or it dropped them. But there was no sign of yellowing, so I think it just got eaten by something. That's another it's an Antidesma. It's another Australian native. And I got a bunch of all my remaining cacao seedlings, most of those. I may just shove them in the ground to see if they survive. And yeah, maybe one of them will survive, we'll see. I got a meringue to survive last winter, which is probably meant to be comparably tropical to a cacao. Albeit I did sort of protect the meringue, and these are going to be sort of semi-protected. There's some canopy here, but coffee, seedlings, maybe about 2 years old, a little bit older than that, and it's going really well. Maybe you can expect it to flower in a few years. Last, we've got the Rollinia. Some nice big leaves on that. But it's so susceptible to the wind, like it had a few branch breaks. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to put out a shoot here. No, put it out on the other side, thanks. But anyway, I'm just going to leave that. Not going to prune stuff. Now is not the time to prune. I would only prune. It's difficult because you don't want to prune, obviously, before winter, before it gets cold. You want to prune when they're actively growing, but you don't also want to prune at the too early in spring, because temperatures can fluctuate a bit, and you could get a cold day in September or even October that shocks some of these plants because they're not really used to that kind of stuff. So you almost have to wait until November to do any proper pruning. But that's pretty much everything. Oh, other than the pineapple rose coming along real nicely. They're all growing very well. Some of them are getting considerably large, like that one. That's the red pineapple. This one's a different species. It makes a red coloured fruit. Yeah, some of them are getting quite large, like this one. Might do some pruning of this hibiscus to get more space, more light for them. But yeah, even this guy, is it maybe going to flower next summer? Who knows? Anyway, that's sort of about everything. Just as a little update, I'm not going to be uploading many videos. I'll probably upload another video shortly. I'm going to harvest my peanuts that I've been growing to see how many peanuts I'll harvest, but that'll be a short one. Otherwise, I'm not really going to be uploading for quite an extended period of time. I'm going to be traveling overseas for a while, and so yeah, maybe I'll provide some updates or any interest if there's something interesting. Maybe upload something, but otherwise not really any plans. But if I come back to Australia at a certain point, I'll provide updates then. But otherwise, hope everyone can take care, and yeah, see you in the next one.